G'day guys, my name's Dave Tran and welcome to another Throwback Thursday edition of a GuitarZero2Hero song tutorial. And in this lesson I'll be teaching you how to play 1,000 Years by Christina Perri. So for the basics of this song you'll need your guitar in standard tuning and you'll need a capo on the 3rd fret of your guitar. You'll need to know 9 chord shapes, and if you want to master your chords back to front then be sure to head over to GuitarZero2Hero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Now the 9 chord shapes are G, D/F sharp, E minor 7, E minor, D, D sus4. Now to play a D sus4, all you'll need to do from a D shape is take your pinky and put that on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. It's D sus4. We have C add 9, G/B, and finally A minor. One thing to add for beginners out there, if you see a D/F sharp, you can just replace this with a D if it's too hard for you. Similarly, if you see an E minor 7, you can just replace that with an E minor if the E minor 7 is too hard for you to play. So let's start with the intro of the song, which is just piano. Now these chords are going to be used in the chorus as well. So we have 2 lines of chords. The first line has 4 chords and it goes G, D/F sharp, E minor 7, and then D. Now this song has a waltz ballad feel, so it's in 3/4 timing. So in terms of the count, it will go 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. So you got 3 beats in each bar. In the intro, we're not going to play a strumming pattern. We're just going to strum each chord once at the start of each bar. Now up here on the annotations, you'll see a little number next to each chord, and that will indicate the amount of bars that chord is played for. But it'll also basically indicate how many strums you'll need to do for each chord. So the G, for example, will be played for 3 bars or strummed 3 times. So the first line of chords will just sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. So again, you're just strumming once at the start of each bar, and each bar is just 3 beats. So 1, 2, 3, or 2, 2, 3. Then we get to our second line of chords and it's C add 9 for 4 bars, and then we go to the D sus4 for 2 bars and then D for 2 bars. So in total the intro will just sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. That's it for the intro, and then it gets into the verse. Now in the verse we have a picking pattern. Now I'm going to show you the studio recorded version, but then after that I'm just going to show you a strummed version if you don't want to do the picking. So the picking pattern itself is based off 5 chords. We have C add 9, and then we go to G/B, then E minor 7, D/F sharp, and then G. I'm going to teach you the generic picking pattern that's used, and you can apply it to each one of those chords. So basically there's 6 notes in a generic picking pattern. We can break these 6 notes up into 3 different little chunks. So our first one will be the bass note of whatever chord you're playing. So for the C add 9 for example, we'll be hitting the 5th string. Then we'll be up plucking the open 3rd string. So a down pick on whatever bass note you're playing, and then an up pick on the open 3rd string. Now for the second chunk we have a down pick on the bass note, and then an up pick now on the 2nd string. And the third chunk is exactly the same as the first chunk. So bass note of whatever chord you're playing, and then an up pick on the open 3rd string. Now remember to note, anytime you're hitting the bass note, it's going to be a down pick, and anytime you're either hitting the 3rd string or the 2nd string, you'll be hitting that with an up pick. So one generic picking pattern will sound like this. And a bit faster. You're going to play that 4 times for the C add 9 and it will sound like this. And then we go to the G/B chord, and you're going to be playing the exact same picking pattern. Now our bass note is that B note on the 5th string, but the strings that we're going to pluck are going to be exactly the same. You play that picking pattern 4 times for the G/B, then you go to the E minor 7 and your bass note changes here. Remember, the picking pattern is the bass note, then 3rd string, bass note, 2nd string, bass note, 3rd string. So the bass note of this E minor 7 is the open 6th string. So we play this for 2 picking patterns, and it will sound like this for the E minor 7. And then we go to the D/F sharp. Except we're going to alter this a little bit. You'll only need to take your index finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the 6th string. You can just leave your ring finger and pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st and 2nd string from that E minor 7. No need to take it off. So after you've put down your index finger on the 2nd fret of the 6th string, you can play 1 picking pattern, and the bass note is the 6th string. So it'll sound like this. And then you go to the G chord and you play 1 picking pattern there. And that's it for the verse picking. So 4 picking patterns on C add 9, 4 on G/B, 2 on E minor 7, 1 on the D/F sharp, and 1 on the G. So altogether, at slow and full speed, it'll sound like this. So that's a studio recorded verse guitar. Now if you want just an easy way to play it, just strumming it, then you can use this strumming pattern. Down, down, up, and in succession. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up. And along with the timing, it'll sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Now again, for a strummed version, up here in the chords annotations, I'll have a little number next to each chord, and that will just indicate the amount of times you need to play that strumming pattern for each chord. So you'll need to play it 4 times for the C add 9, 4 times for the G/B, 2 times for the E minor 7, once for the D/F sharp, once for the G, and then that's it. So an easy strummed version for the verse will sound like this. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now we get to our pre-chorus, and it's just simply 3 chords. We have A minor, E minor, and then we end on a D. A minor for 4 strumming patterns, E minor for 2 strumming patterns, and then we end on the D with 1 strum. So the pre-chorus will sound like this. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, up. Now we get to our first chorus, and the chords in the first chorus are exactly the same as the intro. The strumming pattern we're going to use is the same as we had the pre-chorus. Down, down, up, down, up. Nice and easy. Again, next to each chord there will be a little number, and that will indicate the amount of strumming patterns you'll need to play for that chord. So 3 for the G, once for the D/F sharp, 3 for the E minor 7, 1 for the D, 4 times for the C add 9, 2 times for the D/4, and then on the D you just end with 1 strum. There's no strumming pattern on that D. So the first chorus will just sound like this. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, After the first chorus, there's a little break, and it's just basically one chord. It's C add 9, played for 4 strumming patterns. So nice and easy. The second verse is exactly the same as the first verse. You can either pluck it if you want, or you can strum it. Then the second chorus and the bridge are just the same chords as that first chorus, except the only difference here is that last D chord is now actually played for 2 strumming patterns. It's not just strummed once. So the chorus / bridge will sound like this. And you just keep repeating that for the second chorus and the bridge. Then there's the final pre-chorus, and the final pre-chorus is just extended a little bit. So now there's 2 lines of chords. It's A minor, E minor, and D. And that's the same for both lines of chords. But the second line, we end the D with the strum, 1 strum. But for the first line, we're going to play that D chord for 2 strumming patterns. Then you play one final chorus with the chorus chords, and then there's an outro. Now the outro is picked, but again, I'll show you an easier version if you just want to strum it. Now the picking pattern for this outro is going to be exactly the same as we had in the verse. So bass note, 3rd string, bass note, 2nd string, bass note, 3rd string. We have 5 chords for this outro. We start on the C add 9, and we're going to play that picking pattern 4 times. Then we go to the G/B, play a picking pattern 4 times. So it's very similar to the start of the verse. But then we go back to the C add 9, we play that for another 4 picking patterns. Then we go to the E minor 7, play that for 1 picking pattern. And then we go to a D chord, and we're going to play this for 1 picking pattern. Altogether, the outro will sound like this. And then we end on a C add 9 strum. That's the end of the song. Now if you don't want to pick that outro and you want to strum it, then we're going to use the same strumming pattern. Down, down, up, down, up. And you're going to play that 4 times on the C add 9, strum it 4 times for the G/B, 4 times for the C add 9 again, twice for the E minor 7, twice for the D, and then you end on the C add 9. So a strummed version of the outro will just sound like this. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 Now I'm going to play the song in its entirety, and I'm going to have a vocal track on top for some context. So feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go.
Colors and brown,
Hope you guys have enjoyed this lesson. If you have any requests for Throwback Thursday, then just leave them in the comments below. Be sure to head over to GuitarZero2Hero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook as well. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave your thoughts, comments and questions below, and I'll see you next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.
Just fine before I met you. Drink too much and that's an issue. Okay. Tell your friends it was nice to meet them, but I hope I never see them again.